What is up, everybody? It is Life's Apprentice. I apologize, it has been a little while since we have made a video. We've all been really busy. It is pretty much the peak of our season right now. And I'm making a video today that I came up with the idea probably 6 months ago. And it's kind of a tough video to make because there's a lot that goes into it. And I guess the moral or the gist of the video is how you're being lied to by other dumpster people on YouTube. And when I created my channel, I did it more or less for educational purposes, not really for money. We do make a little bit of money from the YouTube ad revenue, and that's really nice. We use it for our hunting land, and it pays part of the mortgage for that. But the gist of this video is how you're being lied to by other YouTubers, how you can make $1 million, how you can make 100K, with only one dumpster. Now, I'm not saying that the scenario like that is completely impossible, because it is possible, but it is so unlikely that you can do this with one or two dumpsters, make 100K or 500K net or gross, is going to be extremely hard. So my job as a YouTuber and my whole idea with this channel from the get-go is to just tell you guys how it is, show you the reality of it, and not lie to you. So basically, I'm not trying to discourage anyone from starting a dumpster business. I just want you to understand what you're getting yourself into. You see some smoke coming through right now? I'm smoking a brisket right next to us. It is Saturday. It's a nice day, a little bit rainy, and that's what I'm up to. So we need to get into the fact of how you can make 100K a year with one or two dumpsters. Now, in order to do that, net or gross, you would literally have to do, say you had two dumpsters, you're renting them for $300 a piece, and you're renting them on one-day rentals. Now, that's all fine and dandy if you can do that, but the moral of the story is to keep up with that demand with two dumpsters, that would be two every single day all year, is next to impossible. Now, I agree that the dumpster business is something that is all based on scale, so it's the amount of rentals that you can get. But in order to do, if you had two dumpsters and you rented them 300 days of the year, that's 600 dumpster rentals with two dumpsters. At $300 a piece, that's like $180,000. Yes, you could probably net $100,000, but that's just not, it's not going to happen. Like I said, I'm not trying to discourage you, but that's just not how this business works. You would have to pay a lot of marketing and a lot of money to get that. And at that point, you're going to be paying for calls that you aren't going to be able to handle. So I guess the biggest thing as far as that goes is it's just not viable in the long term. You may have weeks where you're able to do that. You may be able to do it, a day a week or 2 days a week, but you're not going to be able to do it 5 or 6 days a week without some serious money getting put in. And at that point, you're going to be turning down customers because you're going to be getting so many calls, and with only two dumpsters, you're going to end up buying more. So the real way to make money with the dumpster business is to scale it. Now, I'm not saying that you need to have 100 dumpsters or more, but you're going to have to scale that to 5 dumpsters, 10 dumpsters, 20 dumpsters. With two dumpsters, it's just not going to work. And some of you people out there that are starting these dumpster businesses, or you have trailers, you have dump trailers, you're realizing that when you start, you're just not going to get that many calls. So what you need to do is set yourself up with those one or two dumpsters and just try to get them out once a week. Not every customer is going to be able to use your dumpster for one day and call you back, and you're just going to be able to get it the next day. Some people are going to want it longer, and it's okay to charge for that. But you got to understand that these dumpsters are making money for you, whether you do it for 1 day or 7 day. The other thing, I get a lot of questions, and we have customers ask us all the time, well, what if I use the dumpster for 1 day? They want a discount. we do not give discounts. I don't care if you want it for 1 day or 7. We switch between a 7 and a 10-day rental depending on how busy we are. In the summer, we're doing a 7-day rental, and that's the maximum. So if they keep it for 1 day, that's completely fine, but you're not getting a discount because your costs are all the same. You still have to drive there and drop it off. You still have all of your overhead costs. You have your pickup cost. You have your dump fees. So your costs are the same. Now maybe if you give them a $20 discount, it's really not going to hurt you. But what you're going to find, and most smaller dumpster companies are going to have the lowest price already, whether it's a 1 day or a 7-day rental. So you're really shooting yourself in the foot, and you're taking money from yourself by doing that. You'll find that most customers, depending on your market and depending on your prices, they're not going to bat an eye. People are always looking for a discount. People are always looking to negotiate and talk you down as far as price. Do not allow them to do that, because that $20 is coming directly out of your pocket, because you have so many costs involved in the dumpster business already. So when we try to profit 30%. Well, on a $300 dumpster, that's $100. If you take $20, $30, $40 off, well, now you made $50 for that rental versus $100. And just because it was only a 1-day rental really didn't, what does that matter? So then you're renting out your dumpster to make a $50 profit. That's just not viable. You need to try to keep that profit up, and by giving discounts, you're directly affecting your profit margins. I don't want to discourage people. I just want to show you the reality. And the reality is, with 2 dumpsters, you're not going to rent them 600 times a year. It's impossible. There's a very, very, very small chance that you can do that, is all that I'm saying. And I don't want you guys to get into this business and expect that, because it's not reality. We have 28 dumpsters right now, and we're hoping to do 600 rentals this year. That would be great. That's with 28 dumpsters. So with 2, it's impossible. And our phone is ringing all the time. But the way that we can do 600 rentals a year is because we have the amount of dumpsters, and we have we have the employees and the equipment and everything to do that. But for you to consider or think that you're going to be able to do that with 2 dumpsters is just kind of unrealistic.
I don't know about you guys that started out there already, but as far as we go, it is so rare that people want a dumpster for 1 day. The only time that happens is generally if somebody needs it at a storage unit, because the storage unit owners don't allow them to be there for more than 8 to 12 hours. Every time our phone rings, somebody needs it for 2 days, 7 days, 2 weeks. It doesn't matter. And we do charge accordingly for longer, but if we only rented 1-day rentals, we would have 26 dumpsters sitting in our yard all the time, because they'd never rent them. They'd call the next guy who will let them keep it for the same price for a few days longer. You have to drop it off, and maybe you have to drop them off both at the same time. Then you have to pick them both up at the same time. Then you have to get them dumped, and then you have to start all over, and you have to do it every single day. And that's hoping that you get the phone calls for that, and it just doesn't happen. People don't want 1-day rentals. It's so rare. At least in our area, it is so rare that happens. And honestly, for us, 1-day rentals sometimes can be more work than the 7-day rentals, because we have so much going on in 1 day that we can't drop it off and pick up and dump that same dumpster in the same day. It doesn't always work.
And when you're first starting out, trying to say you only have 1 or 2 dumpsters, trying to get those dumpsters turned as fast as you can, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But coming in with the mindset that you're going to rent every single dumpster for 1-day rental all the time and keep those things turning is unrealistic. So trying to get them, maybe if you have 2 dumpsters, trying to rent them twice a week is more viable and possible to do. But if you keep 2 dumpsters and you stay at 2 dumpsters, that's the way to go. I would try to have those 2 dumpsters rented twice a week, maybe 3 or 4 days, including weekends and everything like that. So where you're taking them out on Monday, and then you're taking them back out on Thursday or Friday for the next weekend, and then you're picking them back up on Monday and getting them back out. But you're going to find if you get into this business and you really, really like it, once you get 5 dumpsters, 6, 10, doing 1 and 2 day rentals is not going to happen. You're going to need, for 10 dumpsters, you're going to need 2 people. If you're doing 1 and 2 day rentals, you're going to run yourself ragged. You only have so much time in the day. You only have so many dump hours where you're able to do that. So the best thing, especially for us, is let those dumpsters do the work for us, and we're leaving them out longer. And by doing that, it allows us to, we're capable of having more dumpsters with the same amount of drivers because we're leaving them out a little bit longer, and we're not charging the customer necessarily any more to leave them for 7 days versus 2, and we're not charging them any less. We have our numbers that work for us. We know our overhead, we know our general profit, and that's how it works for us. But we're able to sell more dumpsters with less equipment and less people because we're leaving them out longer. And we're still making the same profit margin on those dumpsters, and those dumpsters are paying for themselves. Not to mention, those dumpsters are out a little bit longer, people get to see them, and it's just all around, it's better advertisement for your business. Leaving a dumpster in somebody's yard for a half a day or a day versus a week, a lot more people are going to see it, which is going to save you on advertising costs for sure.
When you're first starting out, I think the most important thing to do is listen to your customers. Let your customers help guide your business. When we first started, when we bought the business, he was only doing 5-day rentals. Well, we had a lot of people say, okay, I'll call you back. The phone never rang again. And so we tried to figure out, okay, and we started asking people, how long do you need the dumpster for? So then we started to switch to 10 days because we're like, okay, well, we have all these dumpsters. We need to get them out. Just let them have them for the 10 days and move on. We need to get our name out there. We need to get these dumpsters out there. They got to be sold. We have bills to pay. We have overhead. We have stuff to take care of. Now, as we've been doing this now for a little over a year, we have found our price has changed. Our times that we let people keep them have changed. We've gotten a lot of loyal customers that will always call us back. The ones that are good to us, we're good back. They get a 7-day rental and they call and say, oh, I just couldn't get it done. So-and-so needed me for whatever. And so we let them keep it an extra couple days at no extra charge because they're going to call us the next time. So we let them tell us. That's how we got to the 7 days. That's how we got to the prices we're at, because that's what works for most people. And we adjust according to our customers and our inventory. So if you let your customers start to tell you what they want, it will be in your favor to listen, because you will sell more dumpsters, and those customers will tell their friends and tell their neighbors and their family, and the next thing you know, your business is starting to grow. And word of mouth is super important. So the more you can adjust to them, the more your business will adjust to you. It'll just work out better for everybody and your profits by doing it that way.
The other thing that we noticed is if when you're getting phone calls and you're selling dumpsters and nobody ever pushes back on the price, you're way too cheap. I would say it is healthy, and you're going to have a hard time with this when you're starting out, but it is healthy for 25% of your phone calls to turn you down based on price. If every single one of them goes with you, your price is probably too cheap. And we've raised our prices like 3 or 4 times, but we're also doing a flat rate. People like knowing that with that flat rate, there's not going to be an extra charge, but you really have to kind of feel that out, especially if you're first starting. You need to know that flat rate over 10, 50, 100 dumpsters is going to keep you in your, a good profit margin. And don't cut yourself short. I mean, I feel like a lot of people are, and you may be feeling a little bit desperate. But if you only have 2 dumpsters, and that's not enough. 2 dumpsters is not enough to make it a full-time job. You're going to need a little bit more than that, 5 or maybe 10 for one person to make it a full-time job where you can make a decent living and be able to afford new equipment and keep your equipment in good shape, and maybe expand or trade out old dumpsters for new dumpsters, and just all around better your business.
you'll figure it out. It takes a little bit of time. It doesn't happen overnight. We've learned a lot. We've made mistakes. You're going to do the same thing.
Absolutely.
So feel free to comment, ask questions, let us know if you need some help, because that's what we're here for. That's why we like to make these videos. We want to educate people. We want you to understand the reality of this business. Not, hey, we're making $100K a year. We've never popped a tire. No, no. Miss Laura pops tires all the time.
Yeah.
She's real good at it. So
it's not a beautiful, glamorous, just easy money business. It can be good money. It can be easy money. It is a profitable business. But I just don't want you, the new guys out there, or people with only 2 dumpsters, to have unrealistic plans and goals. That's just not how it works. You may have weeks like that, or you may have a little string of customers, but it's not going to last. And time of year is going to make a big difference. There's a lot of factors that go into the business as far as rentals. And I think if you guys are trying to target that customer, that's fine. And there's nothing wrong with it. And if you can get 1-day rentals and do as many as you possibly can, that is great. But you are not going to have 2 dumpsters and sell 600 dumpsters a year. It will not happen. And if there's any examples of it out there, if you can have 2 dumpsters and do 300 a year, that's amazing. That is absolutely amazing. But like she said, leave a comment, call me out. If I'm wrong, this is our experience, and I think that most of you will experience the same thing. If you're in the business, you will already have known this. If you're starting the business, you're going to realize that it is not as easy as you thought it was, or the way it was perceived by other YouTubers. And if you're, like I said, if you're in the business, we're not here to discourage you. We just want to tell it like it is. That's my job. That's my goal for this channel. That's what I'm going to continue to do. Show you the reality and show you just how it really works. Leave a comment, hit the like button, subscribe. We'll see you on the next one.